Aloha everybody, Ruby B here. I'm going to do a collective reading today. Today is technically the eve of the Scorpio new moon. However, this reading will probably be posted a couple days later. But it is timeless, so what happens in the reading will be applicable to what you're currently going through. But I just wanted to give you a time frame of when this was recorded. And so I have carnelian flame here for a lot of the Mars energy that's coming through. It's been coming through. I mean, we are in Scorpio season also, but just additionally because of the new moon. And I know it's a little bit of the older astrology, but I do still feel the archetype of Scorpio energy with Mars as well as Pluto. I feel it's a little bit of both. Some of the things that I've noticed, there will be another ceremony posted before this video is posted. So for that ceremony and the last couple ceremonies, I've noticed, hi Miss Lotus, did you come to say hi? I've noticed that what the entities that have been coming through have been doing, the energy work on us, the participants, is assisting us with decreasing our perceived boundaries between us and nature. So, in essence, they are interweaving us to be more connected with our environment. And the more that we can live in the fabric of our natural environment seamlessly, the better. So that's what a lot of the energy work that's been coming through for the ceremonies has been doing to our light bodies, to our auric fields, to our electromagnetic fields, just our I'm going to term that just a subtle energy body, okay? Also, one thing I've noticed with all this energy that's been present in the collective lately is that this is a time to really be aware of anything that requires you to emit energy. Just like if in your house, if you had a leak somewhere with water, that happens in our subtle energy body too. So you want to look through the system and make sure to patch any leaks up, or like where you're expending energy that you need to be reserving, or that it's wasting, because our energy is very vital at this time, because we're going through so many upgrades. And then also as we interact and become more interwoven with our natural environment, we're simultaneously remapping how we are interacting with the new earth templates. So there's so much going on in the subtle realms that it can be exhausting if you have these energy leaks. So really go through your subtle energy bodies and make sure that there's no leaks there, okay? This could be with interactions with other people, how you choose to spend your time, how you choose to spend your internal time, like your thoughts, all of that. See where energy is being leaked, okay? And redirect it. Patch that up and redirect it. Especially with, the 11/11 portal yesterday was huge. I know you guys felt that and probably had some big realizations with that, but there's going to be more big waves of energy coming through to the end of the year too, and beyond, but there's still a couple big ones before the end of the year. And so the reason I've been asked to give you this guidance is because we're going to need to be prepared with our energy for those big waves and upgrades. And also just a little reminder that during those big waves And because there's a few more before the end of the year, it's really important to be centered, grounded, and remain as aware as possible of what's going on, okay? Another thing is to band together with other light workers or your soul family. There's going to be some intense shifts coming up, and it's important to have each other's backs and also have compassion and patience with other people in general. So a lot of it has to do with how we maintain our subtle energy body, how we interact and blend more seamlessly with nature, and our interpersonal connections, okay? So those are the main focuses. One thing I've noticed recently also is that there's a lot of forces trying to instill fear. They could be incarnate, disincarnate, or even other individuals. And or aspects of society too, like media. That's a given. But it's important to not give in to fear, not to feed that fear cycle. How this shows up in everyone's reality will be a little bit different and unique. So just recognize it, use your discernment to become aware of it, acknowledge it, and not feed it, not give in to it. Gratitude and love go a long way in protection against forces trying to cause or instill fear. And not being a part of that paradigm anymore is really important right now. All right, so with that being said, and that could also, I'm just now putting that together, that could be one of the leaks in the energy bodies, is allowing that, like subtly feeding that fear paradigm. So make sure that you're not unconsciously, energetically feeding any fear-based paradigms. All right, let's do a little cleanse of the space here. I hope you guys are all doing well. Living in this time period, and just sometimes I just wake up still in awe of the mission and what's happening with the movement and the great remembrance. It's so beautiful. Sometimes I feel a breeze and it feels like I'm feeling a breeze for the first time since incarnating this lifetime. It's just very magical. And I'm really happy that I get to share all of that with you. We're very blessed that we get to participate in this. It's an honor. And I love reading your guys' comments and interacting with you. So thank you for all of those. And of course the breeze really picked up after saying that. Okay. So also to just help us connect more with nature, because we can always be closer to nature, I have a beeswax rose here and also bee totem. Okay. I'm going to start with a symphonic gong. Opening the reading space, getting centered. Allowing the vibrations to move seamlessly through your energy body. get started with wisdom of the oracle. A deep knowing at the bottom. Deep knowing. So there's something big that you're sitting on. There's something big that you deep down know is really important to your journey, to your path. But you haven't actually started taking actions yet, towards this. You're kind of in the pre-taking action phase regarding this. But it's a big shift. Also, what this is saying is that with these big waves of energy that is coming, there is more divine intelligence that's being downloaded to us, and these are gifts that we are accumulating. Okay. Yeah, time for a nap when I cut the deck. So that's what I'm talking about, reserving your energy. And just because of this deep knowing that these big waves, these shifts are going to keep coming. So look for any of those leaks and seal it up. Make sure you're reserving that because you're going to need it for the collective spirit. For the collective. Yeah, mending, sealing, right? Reserving. This could have to do with other people, right? Your interpersonal relationships. There's a deep knowing of the relationships that need to possibly have a little bit of restructuring, okay, in order so that you're not depleting your energy through these connections. I'm getting friendship and siblings, although it could be with children as well. The sense I get is that you know the interpersonal relationships that I'm referring to. Also, what this is saying is just reiterating the fact that there is a deep knowing that these big energy waves are coming, and we need to mend our subtle energy bodies so that the energy doesn't leak. But also what this is saying is we are being interwoven with the fabric of nature even more than previously, on a deeper level, so that it's seamless, right? That was the word that I used, seamless. Okay. So Spirit is confirming this and wants us to be aware of this. And acknowledging this process and actually partaking in the process ourselves with others as well, right? You see that? With other light workers, our soul family. A tall tale at the bottom. Yeah, so what I'm seeing is be cautious of what people are telling you. Use your discernment. This could be interpersonal relationships, family relationships, friend relationships, at your job, in the media. Just be cautious with the information that is coming to you, and really use your discernment to evaluate its validity in your realm, right? Because it may be true for that person, as there are multiple truths. However, we create our realm, right? We create our reality. And so, does it align with your deepest core? And if not, just set it aside and release it. Yeah. There's a lot that has to do with forgiveness about this with other people, and realizing that it comes from a place of unawareness and being patient and kind. But also this is about stepping into your strength, right? And having the courage to not let that affect your reality and to not give in to the fear-based paradigms. Okay? And this may be within yourself as well. Or there may be aspects of that within yourself as well, as within, so without, right? All right, Spirit, for the collective. Okay, so we have roots of abundance here. And willing release, and then under that bearing fruit. So there definitely needs to be things released. There will be things released with this Scorpio new moon. Things that are weighing you down, holding you back, things that you've been working on healing for a while. And this is to make room for the beautiful fruit that wants to come in on your tree, right? Also, what this is saying is that you have done a lot of work in preparing, and networking is another word that's coming to mind, and grounding and building the strength and the connections and the roots. And you have already started to do a good job of releasing what you know is no longer serving, to make room for what's coming, right? It's like the groundwork has been laid. The groundwork has been laid in order for the fruit to come in now. Also, what I'm seeing here with these cards is that when you build this groundwork with the expectation that this is going to come, that needs to be released, right? You're not doing all of this just for the fruit, right? It's the process. It's the sacredness. It's the journey, right? It's the mission. Okay. So basically what that means is release expectations and do the work for the joy of the work. Okay. Just keep going. Sensitivity, beautiful sensitivity at the bottom. Sensitivity. The frequency of sensitivity helps us open to the world of subtlety and detail while anchoring in a structural foundation, thus supporting us to become more fully multidimensional. Okay, so that directly ties in with this and what I was talking about in the beginning with the subtle energy body, right? The more we are connected with ourselves, the more grounded that we are, the easier we can seal up those energy leaks, okay? And some of it has to do with releasing. So attachment is a word that's coming to mind. Where are you still subtly feeding that you're not aware of, right? Make sure and cease that and regain the nutrients to your own roots, right? Because these upgrades are occurring so vastly within us right now for multidimensionality, particularly in regard to like our light body and our abilities, that This is so important. That was one of the main messages that was coming through from Spirit, and it's heavily reflected here. And how do we do this? Right? This is a key. This is a key. Sensitivity, becoming more sensitive to our own energies. Sometimes we can only do that in private, right? But also being more sensitive to other people's processes that they're going through as well, and being really understanding about that, and know that if they're releasing also, maybe if you just know that, just give them space and, you know, be patient and kind and sensitive to what they're going through, because it is a difficult process to release attachments, right? Even if it's to something like gum. You know, that's still a process that someone may be going through. Maybe they're more irritated than normal, or whatever the case may be. That's just an example. Yeah, presence. This is a gift, okay? Your presence is a gift, not only for being present with yourself, but also your presence with other people as well. And so again, this is just backing up where are you choosing to spend your energy. The energy of presence supports our ability to focus our full attention and stay in the here and now. Focus, right? This is the focus. Also, what I'm seeing here is a lot of growth in regard to healing that's occurred in interpersonal relationships, particularly. And it could even be because there's a knowing, there hasn't even been any action yet, but there's just a knowing of what needs to be released, and just that process has started, and therefore this healing process has started, and the growth is allowed to occur. For the collective, surrender. Yes, beautiful surrender. Please focus on the sacred geometry as it unlocks certain things in you and does certain activations. The energy of surrender supports us to let go of illusionary control and yield to the flow of love and life. And that's in the heart of the reading. Okay, and what does that lead to? Freedom. Freedom. All right. 21, World card in tarot. Closing out cycles. Beginning new cycles, the end of seasons. The seasons change, right? I'm sure many of us can feel it reflected in the weather as well lately. The energy of freedom supports our sense of limitless possibility and potential, boundless expression, and bold exploration. And I feel like a lot of this is internal right now, but it will set the foundation for being reflected in the external. Okay, let's read 21. Advancement. You're about to level up. Yes, this is exactly what I was talking about. The next step is coming, so prepare yourself to receive it. Think of what you need to release in order to do so. You can't make this stuff up, you guys. Write it down, and at the next full moon, either burn it or bury it and feel the space open up for what is next. That's exactly what I was talking about. But don't have expectations about what that is, right? Make space for it and allow it, and surrender and allow it to happen without saying, I've made all this space, now I want this to come. Spirit's saying no. It's just a little reminder, it doesn't work like that, okay? Open up, surrender for what is next. And so since this is being recorded at the time of the new moon, I think it would be a good time to do that whenever you view this, and then at the next full moon, burn it or bury it. Okay, that's perfect. All right, let's get a gateway. Merkaba activation at the bottom. So transcendence, ascension, you are rising up. Pleiadian activation, coming together, harmony in the heavens, resolution. So the Pleiadians are assisting with this mending process, and they also call on them to help you to seal up your energy leaks. In fact, let's do that now. Calling on the Pleiadians, our galactic family. We ask for your assistance and guidance in helping us to seal up the energy leaks that are no longer serving the highest good in our subtle energy body. We ask to become aware of where these leaks are and also your assistance in sealing them. The energy therefore goes back into our subtle energy body and provides us with the energy and nutrients so that we may grow and expand into our full potential of ourselves, with an emphasis of what is needed on our mission for our skill sets and gifts, as well as our ability to be sensitive, patient, forgiving, and kind. We surrender to this process. We are grateful for your assistance with this, and we love you eternally. Okay, so they want us to take a big breath in to activate these upgrades. And let it out. One more big breath in. And let it out. Let's keep going. Mahalo, Pleiadians. Star gathering, stars aligned, remembering home, soul family. So a lot of this, it has to do with our soul family and staying banded together with fellow light workers, with our soul family, people that have your back, okay, unconditionally. And also, how I'm seeing this is, if you haven't yet explored your Pleiadian roots, this is a little nudge to do so, considering we just brought in the Pleiadians for assistance, and now it's saying remembering home. So a little nudge to explore your Pleiadian roots if you haven't yet, if that resonates with you. Akashic records, clearing old stories, releasing past lives, freedom. So that's a repeated theme again, freedom. Gaia gateway activation, learning experiences, wisdom transmission, earth intelligence. Okay. So with these big energy waves that I've been referring to, more and more people are going to gain access to the Akashic. More and more people are going to be integrating past life aspects of themselves, freeing themselves from the lessons of those lives, integrating those lessons, freeing from the emotions and symptoms connected with it, okay? Also clearing old stories. So this is about freedom from your old versions of yourself, this lifetime or others combined. Interesting. So what I'm also getting here is that Gaia is rewriting her Akashic. Okay. Learning experience, wisdom transmission, earth intelligence. There's a new level of intelligence on Gaia that is releasing us from our past versions of ourselves, of itself. There is a freedom from this. It no longer weighs us down. We no longer have to do anything regarding that. All we have to do is surrender to the process, right? It will mend on its own. The work will occur on its own, is what this is saying. All we have to do is surrender to the process. And that doesn't mean not still working on your mission. It just means not controlling, right? The illusion of control. Yielding to the flow of love and life. There were a lot of deep trenched stories that have been healed in the collective. Old Akashic. Past life stuff that was holding the collective back. These activations and these wisdom transmissions are what is being transmitted through these big waves, okay? This is huge, actually, and this is in the upcoming energy. Also, what I was saying earlier about the energy work allowing us to be closer and more seamlessly intertwined with our natural environment, right? This is how the Akash is being rewritten. This is the new template that we are learning how to interact with, that we are learning the new interface with in regard to our subtle energy body, okay, and our gifts and skills. All right, let's do a Moonology. Okay. So when I opened the deck, this one was at the bottom. What do you need to release? Okay, waning moon. And that is just repeated so many times here. Willing release. Releasing the old stories of the past lives, right? We've integrated those. We've healed those. We've surrendered to the process, right? We've laid the foundation. We've opened space up. There's a deep knowing in the collective that all of this is occurring for this reason, right? Everything's in alignment, all right? As we reconnect with our soul family, we remember our roots, our galactic roots, where we came from. And, the purpose of that was to reconnect with our galactic roots, okay. And also, again, all right, and then I dropped the deck and this one came out. Be bold and make your first move, Cardinal Moon. So again, surrendering is not just completely non-action, right? It's a mix of continuing on your path, but flowing from heart space. Also, what that's telling me is that when you show the omniverse that you're ready and you take the first step to prove that you are ready, things will open up for you. And the multiverse will respond, will reciprocate, okay? All right, Spirit, for the collective. You are good enough. You are good enough. Full moon in Virgo. Okay, some hermit energy coming through here. Look at all this beautiful green that's coming through. So some heart space upgrades here. Really, it's all of them, but that one's particularly highlighted for this reading. And you guys aren't going to believe this on the bottom. Work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio. So that's what I was talking about in the beginning, right? Not participating in the fear paradigm, coming from the heart space instead. When you embody gratitude, love, forgiveness, right? Understanding, it's no match for anything based in fear, right? So a lot of this has to do with facing our own fears too, right? Our own fear paradigms internally, and surrendering to that process. The foundation is laid for us to be able to interact with those things in a different way now, right? Our interface of the new template. It's not like it was before. There's a new way to interact with your environment internally and externally. And a lot of it stems from self-worth, okay? So you are good enough. You are a big part of what's occurring in the Akashic and on Gaia right now. And one of the biggest things is being free from these fears, from these old stories, right? So really evaluate, if you feel like you're fearful of something, really look at that and band together with other people to work through that. You can do it, in a process where you do it alone first. But in a group, it's more powerful, okay? That's one of the repeated themes that I've been getting the past few weeks, just on a new level. Like, that's always been a message, but just in the past couple weeks, it's been even more so. You're stronger together, okay? So that may be a group thing, it may be a personal thing, but definitely reflected several times here, especially with the messages that were in the beginning of the reading. Okay, I'm going to pull a moon magic. I invite peace within myself, and I ripple this outward. Yeah, because it's about not perpetuating the fear paradigm, right? Because when you experience a vibration, and if you don't transmute that and you pass it along, it continues to go through the collective until it's stopped. So that's what this is saying, right? That's why it's important to be so grounded and centered within yourself and peaceful within yourself. Because if you overcome your fears, right, you're not going to be passing fear through the collective. You're not going to be contributing to that. And that could definitely well be the energy leaks in the subtle energy body that I was talking about. Okay? So Pleiadians want to work with us on this. I invite peace within myself. I ripple this outward. All right, Spirit. A message for the collective. I accept that here, now, is exactly where I am, and that is a place of profound learning. Exactly. Yeah. Waxing crescent, too. When we take the time to be sensitive to ourselves and others, we learn a lot, right? We learn a lot. And also, what this is kind of reiterating is that the more time we spend with ourselves and with our soul family, we're learning about these new interactions and how to better optimize our own use of our own energy, okay? Because that's important going forward. It is a learning process, but it's also a very freeing process. Gratefully, I surrender my struggle at the bottom, right? Give it up. Give it up to this Scorpio new moon. And so there is a vibration of fear coming through with that struggle right now. So that may be something to look at, right? Something to learn about yourself. Okay, let's pull a couple tarots. Page of Wands. Yeah, so this is about a new part of the journey, an exciting part of the journey, being open to new experiences. Also, the sacral chakra coming through, right? Learning about the interactions with the new template, okay? Yeah, 10 of Cups. Has to do with complete emotional fulfillment with others, particularly. Yeah, the Sun has to do with happiness, joy, success. This is the basis of the new paradigm that we are building on now. And I'm seeing rainbows as I'm saying that. All right, what's this mending spirit? 10 of Wands, yep, burdens, responsibilities, things weighing you down, right? That's what I was talking about in the beginning. You're learning where you're giving your energy away and where you're being depleted. You're starting to see this. What's this roots of abundance? Wheel of Fortune, yep. Times are changing. That's what I was talking about. Big change, big shifts coming up, right? So it's important to stay grounded, stay centered, cut off where you're leaking energy, put it back in yourself. This will bring you propel your movement forward in a greater way, and good luck on your side regarding that. Surrender, Queen of Wands, yeah. Queen of Wands. There's a lot of messages from this card. Okay, so one of the things that's coming through for the heart of the reading is surrendering to the ego, right? The Queen of Wands is amazing. She's charming, she's outgoing, she's sexy, right? But there's a little bit of ego connected there. Okay, so surrendering the ego, all right? Coming from pursuing your passions from a place of love and life rather than ego. There's an important distinction there in the heart of the reading, okay? And also that has to do a little bit with what I was talking about making room and expecting the final result, what you want to come in, instead of just making space and allowing for things that are being open for beautiful things to come to you, right? So that's the main message of this part of the reading. Yeah. 2 of Cups, all right? Here under Akashic Records and Gaia Gateway activation. So a lot of this had to do with romantic connections from the past, and even past, future lives, being free from those old stories surrounding romance. But also this is making way for new divine connections in the new template. And this is in the upcoming energy. That's why it's so important for this to release this, right? All these burdens that's holding you back, so that you can step through this activation in the upcoming energy and become closer in your divine connections, okay? It doesn't even have to be romantic, but there is an aspect of it that is romance pertaining to clearing out old stories. So the template for romantic connections is also shifting, again, is what this is telling me. What's this? You are good enough. 8 of Cups. Yep, walking away from what doesn't serve you. 100,000%. Okay? What is not emotionally fulfilling? Okay? What are you giving energy to that isn't fulfilling? This is an energy leak. It's very clear in the upcoming energy, okay? And again, at the bottom, moon, fear. This has to do with the not knowing, being fearful of what you can't see, right? Things that are hidden from you. Spirit saying, leave all that behind. focus that energy internally, right? And building that, cultivating that beautiful Empress environment within, okay? Yeah. So this is definitely a time to work through fears. And you'll be assisted with this. It's going to happen one way or another, but it helps to have the awareness, right? And to work with the energies. And the first step is sealing up that energy body. So with that, I will leave you, and I hope that this reading assisted you on your journey. There were some beautiful messages that came through, and I always want to give gratitude and thank Spirit for that. I'm going to play the tongue drum a little bit if you want to stick around. Until next time, aloha.